Hello. Hello, everyone. Welcome in. I am Cobblecare. And right now, I've decided to start a new project. The last project we did, we finished completely on stream and it went really well and it was fun. So I thought I'd do another one. And this time, we're going to try to build Nevermore Academy. I have built the Addams Family house before and it went over really well. People really liked it. And I've noticed that I'm getting a lot more activity on my like Halloween builds and things like that. So people are clearly gearing up to celebrate Halloween a little bit earlier this year. And this is quite a big project and will probably take a little bit of time. So I thought, why not get into it now? So I have some inspirational pictures. One second, let me just get them up. And we're going to try our best to kind of map out the first section of this. Hang on, let me swap over. Sorry, I need to get my pictures so I can see them, but also, right down here, I'll change this down here. And then that way I can also see you guys and what you're saying in chat. So I'm just moving my inspo pictures. Right, I'll pop them over here in a different screen. And that way I can also continuously have them up and I can still talk to you guys. Right, there we go. Right, so let's... Right, okay, so I think we're going to need to just like make the... When you first enter Nevermore, there's like a big building that's almost like the Addams Family house. So I'm going to pop over to that house and see what we did. And just kind of like maybe get some inspiration from it. It's quite small actually. Okay, so this is the Addams Family house that we did. But we want to go much bigger. This is going to be a much bigger scale. But maybe we can kind of like borrow some of these windows and stuff and kind of like just kind of like get the essence of this build. Right, yeah. Okay, so we used just deep slate stairs. I think this was before we had tough. And we'll definitely be using tough. We went for the blackstone. Okay, yeah. We can possibly use some of this. Right, so let's go back over to where we were. I think we were here. And let's start just placing down a shape. So I'm going to actually go into Axiom. And I'm afraid you guys can't see this too clearly. 1 second, guys, because it's not looking like you guys can see what I'm doing. Let me turn the background off. Sorry guys, 1 second. It's doing that weird thing where it's not showing up the actual, it's just showing the background, it's not actually showing the game capture, so give me a second. I don't know why it does this sometimes, it's so strange. Right, okay. Game capture, we'll edit the properties. Yes, that's Minecraft. Hey, welcome in. We're just trying to figure out why the game capture's not working and you can just see the background for some reason. And even though I've turned the background off, that's all you can see. So 1 second, please. Let's do a new game capture. Add existing game capture. Okay. I think that this might be OBS messing up, if I'm honest. Swap to starting soon. Back to Minecraft. Yeah, that's really strange. Hey guys, welcome in. We'll be starting here in a second. I'm just messing around with some settings. Um, okay. It's definitely OBS just being weird because when I click on the properties for the game capture, it's showing me the Minecraft window, but then it's kind of like showing me this background that doesn't even really exist, which is really strange. Filters. Nope, don't have any filters. Right, okay, yeah. It's still showing up on screen. Okay. I wish there was a way to kind of like refresh your scenes. Right. Just gonna try one more thing and then might have to restart stream. I'm really sorry, guys. Hey, there we go. I have no idea why it was doing that. But yeah, let's try this again. Hang on one second. I'm just gonna pop the count on so you guys can see the sub count and Minecraft audio, and we won't put the background on. Right, there we go. We are here finally. Right, as I was saying, we have built the Addams family house before, and I will quickly show that to you guys here. And this is on a much smaller scale than what we're going to want to do. Is it good with shaders? Yes. So this is a much smaller scale than what we're planning to do here. But it's kind of like what we're going to be doing. Hey, welcome in. Welcome in. I am an English speaker, and that's the only language I understand. So I do ask that it's an English only chat, please. Thank you. Just so we can understand each other. But yeah, so we've got this little house here, and this was the Addams family house. And I've been noticing that a lot more people have been wanting tutorials for this, and I've been looking at the videos because we're getting kind of close-ish to Halloween. So I thought, why not ramp this up and do a bigger version and do the Nevermore Academy? So we're going to pop over here and we're going to start just placing some blocks down. So I believe we want to go west a little bit here. All right. And we're going to plan this out with using Axiom. And you won't be able to see what I'm clicking on the left side, unfortunately, just because YouTube Shorts. But you will be able to see the shapes that are going on the ground here. So we're going to get a flat plane. These are the options that I'm picking. And we're going to kind of pop it down here. Right? And then we'll want to make this hollow, because this is going to be a room. And we're going to want to make this bigger. So let's go to 37 maybe. Right, so we'll do 37. We want to keep this an odd number so that we can decorate it and still have a center. So we'll do that. Is 37 a bit big? Should we do? Is 27 maybe a bit better across? So then we can do like 3-4 windows and it'll be fine. So we'll do 27. And then we'll do the same over here. We'll just bring it across so we know it's matching up. And then we'll kind of leave a bit of a gap. Like so. Oh, let's do another one, actually. And make this a bit smaller. 17, maybe. And this is going to come out a little bit. Make this 21, maybe. Right. Yeah, let's do that. And then what was this one? It was 27, right? So we'll do another one over here. Make sure it lines up. And then pull it over here. All right, and this is going to give us kind of the basic shape for it. If I can have a little look and have a look at the reference picture here. Okay, so on the reference picture, I believe that this right side is actually a bit bigger. It looks like it looks like it's a bit bigger. I do want this to be as accurate as possible. So let's click on here. No. I'm just trying to get a better picture of the front. Yeah, view board. I've made a Pinterest board for this, so that I can have all of the pictures here. Right, okay, so I've got a better picture of the front, and yeah, this side bit is definitely longer than this bit, so we're gonna bump this up to, thinking 33. Again, we know that it's still in line, but we'll do that a bit bigger. It's a bit wider. Okay, so there we go. We have that bit. And then it kind of goes into, so I'm kind of working around here. And there are some bits that you just can't see. Like, I've scoured the internet. I've even tried to use like AI chat image generator to try get as many different sides of Nevermore as possible. But because it's not an actual building, it's like, obviously it's edited to look this way. It's really hard to actually get an image of like all sides of it. So then we have this interesting part around here that's kind of like a balcony. Yeah, it's kind of like a big balcony, and it's got some some open bits along here. And this is quite longer, actually. So this is quite a bit longer. Goes down. So let's double this. Is that in the right? Yeah, that's the right orientation there, but we'll match it like that. Okay, so we'll kind of make it a bit longer. And then there's almost like a rectangle bit here. So let's try do different shape here maybe. So let's do that. And we want it to kind of be equal on both sides. So how many blocks is this? It's hard to see. Is that up for some reason? No, up for some reason. That was strange. Okay, so this is 17 blocks wide. So I'm gonna pop it there. That feels right. We can always move it later. But yeah, this is gonna be. I think even like that, it doesn't need to come out too much and be ridiculous. Just enough that we can like make some nice shapes in it. Like this. And you can kind of see that there's a blueprint coming along. But let's get down here at player height and see how big this thing's going to be. Okay, so this feels kind of good. This is going to be like a grand staircase up here. And this will be like the main tower. And then this is the balcony across. And it's the back where it starts to get a little fuzzy. Because remember, this is a show. So they don't really show the back. Because it's all edited. And it's hard to... So it's really hard to get pictures of this full thing. Someone's done like a mock-up of it. Like a drawing, but it's still incomplete. Because it's a drawing, but it's like of the only sides that are shown in the show. Right, okay. So this is the front, and then we have this bit around here. So there's actually like another square here. That's almost... Oh, hang on, let's reset that. Let's reset the rotation of that there. Yeah, we don't like that. And let me make that. Right, so you come around here when they pull up with their car, and it's kind of like another building like here. Kind of like that, but maybe a little bit thinner. Hey, May Gamer, welcome in. We are just trying to do the layout here at the moment for Nevermore Academy. And I'm just trying... I'm doing the best I can with the photos that are available on the internet. And also, yes, I've watched the show, but it's very hard to go through and unpause everything and to pause everything at the right places, should I say. So I'm kind of relying on photos from the internet. You need the name. Sorry, I'm not quite sure what you mean. Oh, I need the mod or Axiom, what I'm using right now. Yeah, it's a really good mod. Right, I think that's about... It feels a bit thicker, maybe. Like that. Like there, roughly. I'm going to settle on there. Right, so now we've just got the back, and I'm wondering Like, is this it? Is this what the back looks like, or is there something else around here? I've just got a bunch of tabs open with just like as many different angles as I can. But the one that's important is like the one of the courtyard. Okay, there's one from above here that I've got. And it's kind of looking like this. It's kind of looking like this. Except... Oh, okay. Okay, I think I can get this shape down. So... do 63 and then we'll do a bit wider. So it's kind of doing this. So like this is going all the way down like so. So it kind of goes in like this and then this meets it. So like this. And then I think we need to go a bit wider. And then I think this kind of, like I said, this kind of meets this. Like this. Right. Now let's get rid of all these bits here. As far as I can see, this is kind of what it looks like. It is not going to be like exactly perfect. This is based off a castle, but like the Harry Potter one, when you look up the castle, it's nothing like the finished product because of all the editing and the things, you know, behind the scenes that we don't see. Right, I want that to feel separated, but I want to get rid of these bits where we overlapped a little. You've got the big bit at the front, the big bit, and then you've got the two side bits. That one's a little bit longer. Yeah, the little bit that overlaps, but I think this is like a little bit smaller. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm sorry, what's the mod called again? It's called Axiom. That's what I'm using. Very powerful mod. It does a lot of very cool things. I've got a couple of tutorials for it on my channel. There's a couple of shorts that are showing you the basics of this menu right here. I go through a couple of these. I've still got a few more tutorials to make, but I go through like the important ones of this and show you how it works and how easy it is to use. Right, so this kind of matches up with over here. Okay. For example, the move tool. You know, if I want If I want this to come over here, I just do that. And I'm going to try and match it up with... Oh, perfect. With that. Can you use it in a bedrock? Oh, I'm not sure. I'm afraid. I think it's probably most likely a Java mod. I know that most mods are. Right, there we go. So kind of like that's matched up with that corner there. I've kind of got an alright shape now. Okay, so I can kind of carry on mapping it out. And then I think it's best that we carry on mapping it out, if I'm honest, because then we can start getting a feel for scale and how big we want to do the windows and things like that. But now we've got the main building down, so that'll be like that, it'll be like that, and then you'll have, it looks like there's another little bit here that maybe comes out. Dang, I'm making a zombie apocalypse world thing, make a huge outline like this would help making buildings. Yeah, it really does. It really is a big help. It kind of feels like Microsoft Paint, you know, where you're doing the big squares. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Let's do 9. And let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's just do 7 across. Got to keep with those odd numbers. And it looks like there's just a little extra bit there. I'm not really sure what it is, but it looks like a little extra bit there. Kind of feels like there's an extra bit over here as well. That matches up with this one. So how many did we do? We did 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And let's take this down here. Zombie apocalypse sounds cool though. That does sound cool. Okay, so I'll go back to the beginning. I'll look from above, and I'm just, like I said, I'm trying to match it up as best I can to this little blueprint thingy that I've got. And there are going to be some places where we kind of have to fill in the bits that we can't see, just because the information just isn't out there. Right, but we're going to make this longer. Hey, welcome in. Rodeline Lucas? How's it going? Right, so let's extend this bit down. But is this how thick I want it to be? I think this is how thick I want this to be. Right, I'm going to pop in our axiom again here and just use my ruler tool. And I want to make sure that this is odd. It's really important to me that it's odd. Right, so that would be 45. So let's get our path tool now. And we've got stone. And let's just click here and click there. And then we know that that is an odd number from there to there. And we'll do the same here, hopefully. And you can match it up easily with this blue line. And we can do from there to there as well. Okay, so now we've got this long, like almost corridor of buildings here. And we want to come around and do... This is an entire... This right here is like the entire courtyard that's going around. So there's a bit that comes out over here. That's almost like a square, so we'll get our square again. But make this a lot smaller. 27-ish. And it kind of just comes out like a little bit like here. And this is going to be a tower. So I think it will match up. Yeah, it'll match up. It's just out just by a little bit. Like that. We'll say it's like that, okay. And then you've got the same width maybe here, is it? So this, right. Okay, so this box might need to be a little bit bigger because it's going to go into this bit going down here. Right, so a box again. So what width is this though? Let's try and match it up with this. Reset rotation. That happens more than you think. Watch 7. No, it must be 57, 59 fit. Okay, so it's 45. And we want to like bring it like there. Okay, so this box actually needs to be way bigger. Right. Just trying to get the dimensions right here going forward, because once you get one thing off, it's just kind of all off. And I think that this needs to be smaller. Yeah, this needs to be smaller. So we're going to move this in a little bit. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's move it in 5. And then move this one in 5. And then it'll be 35. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And get rid of that. This becomes a little bit smaller. This becomes a bit wider. And same for this over here. We want to keep this line so we know which building it's attached to. But this can be just mined out. Okay, so now this has made this smaller. It'll change the dimensions of this box. So we can probably get rid of this box entirely and do a new one. Stand back and have a look. Needs to be here and match up with this one now. Hey Snow, I am just doing, well, I'm creating a build. This is going to be Nevermore. I feel like someone has watched Wednesday season 2. Yes, maybe Enzyme, maybe. Also welcome in. Snowflakes, I know what you're thinking, and don't worry, I'm going to be doing a hardcore stream on Twitch a little bit later. This is just something that I wanted to do on YouTube this morning. But I will still be doing the hardcore stream later, don't worry. Did I just get rid of that again? What am I doing? I'm not thinking straight. I need this to line up to here. No spoilers, don't worry, but I can say that there is an academy. So kind of spoilers if you've not watched any of it. But yeah, I've noticed that around this time I've been getting a lot of like more views and stuff on my like Halloween builds, particularly the Addams Family build. So I thought, why not do something else that's Addams Family related and do Nevermore Academy. All right, let me know because I'll be working on a college essay in the meantime. No worries, Snow. It won't be for a little while. Yeah, about an hour or two. And I might have a little break in between to eat as well. Right, so we can now change this box to, what did we say, 35? So this is going to be like going down here. This is kind of like the shape that we want. And then we want a box here that's going to be a tower that's just going to be slightly bigger than this. So we'll line it up first, and then we'll make it slightly bigger than the box. Like this, maybe. We want it to probably come out. Let's go to 45. Let's see if that works. So we want it to come out like a couple, like probably 3 on each side. Like that. Yeah, I think that's good. Yeah. Let's just go to 7 because I want it to line up with there, but then have the 3 on each side. Okay, so it's got 3 on each side and it's lined up with this kind of like box here. So I would say that that's perfect. And this is going to be like just a larger tower. Now let's go back to the 35. And keep extending this down until we've got like a courtyard shape that we are happy with. So I'm thinking 1, 2. And then you've got a bit that comes out here a little bit. So maybe that would have been, maybe that would have actually like matched up there, but like then come out like a little bit here. From pictures, it looks like that happens a little bit. Yeah, okay. So we'll do that. Well, this feels quite long, doesn't it? It's too long. Right, let's do a box select around here. And let's just cut it and move it over a bit. Is that a bit better? I think that's a bit better. Yeah. Getting the dimensions of this, I know I've said it before, but it's the most important part because as soon as you start putting the detailing, you can't really go back and start changing the shapes. So yeah, this is really important that we get this down. Right, okay. So this is the, I'm not even sure that this is the courtyard. This is just kind of, hang on. So there's 2 courtyards. There's like a big one when you're going in, and then there's like a little like hexagonal one. That's really important too. And it looks like that's like where the fountain is, maybe. And is there a fountain or a statue in the middle? Right. Okay. We're not going to keep that dirt. We're going to make that stone again. So I think we're going to want to do that. And then like that. Maybe. I think that feels right. Pictures. The I'm not sure that the sketch that I've got is 100% accurate. If I'm honest, it's not showing any of the towers that are on that you see. There's like some quite big towers at the entrance, like here and here. So I definitely cannot rely on the sketch too much that someone's done. Okay, so you come up here and you go to the right. Sorry, you guys can't see this. I'm just intensely concentrating on like a picture of Nevermore right now. But yeah, it's also got like around the front here is like a big it makes it feel like a big circle because there's a circle path going all the way around, and then it's filled in with like bushes and things like that. And then when you come up here, you've got this, and then you come up here and there's like another little. So you got this, and then there's a little building, but then there's like another one, like here. So that's really kind of like throwing me off a little bit. I wish there was like a picture from above. Yeah, so there's another sketch here that's drastically different to the one that I was just looking at. Which makes me feel like we've just no, we've fully got the shape. Yeah. Oh, hang on. Is this another picture? I think this is an possibly reliable picture. Okay, yeah, this one looks better. Sorry about that. I found something that looks a little bit better now. Okay, so there's this long bit that's going along there. I don't really know what that is. But there's definitely another tower here. So it kind of goes... does not go like that. It kind of goes in like this. And it's a bit smaller. We'll take it to 27. And it goes in like that. And it's actually like taller. But we'll place that there. And then there's like this huge concrete slab that's coming out of here. There was definitely... Oh my gosh, Zach. Oh my gosh, Snow, that is dark. Right. Yeah, I didn't know what you meant at first, but then when I've read it properly, I'm like, damn, that's dark. Three, four. So one again, keeping with the odd numbers, we'll go in a little bit. That's 3 or 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think that's 4. Going a bit there. Yeah, so there's just this like long path. Might be a bit skinnier. It's definitely long, but it might be a bit skinnier. Alright, we'll make it that size for now, but we won't know if we need to go bigger until we do the rest of this bit here. Wow. Okay, so this is already so big. And it's not even fully completed. And again, this other sketch that I've got still doesn't have those towers. I don't understand. Unless it's like a perspective thing. No, it's not a perspective thing. It just doesn't have that big clock tower. Unless the only thing I can think of is was that tower added like in the second season? And like maybe these sketches are from the first season. Okay, so looking onwards, yeah, there's like a big tower that's okay, yeah, there's a tower missing. There's 2 towers missing. That's like just directly behind this first building here. Unless it's this one. But that one's quite small. Hmm. Sorry about this, guys, but this is just gonna be... This is just what it is. It's gonna take a while to... There's definitely, like, there's one missing. I can tell you where they're supposed to be. So there's one missing right here. And there's one missing, like, behind here. And I've got 2 different blueprints, and the towers aren't on either of them. So the only thing I can think of is that maybe they added them in the 2nd season for the storyline. Just trying to make this make sense. Okay. Okay, I've got a different picture here, and that makes sense. Okay, nice. Nice. Okay, so it's kind of... It's, like, far back here. So it goes in a little bit. It goes in, like, just, like, a little bit. Let's get our path tool, I think. And it kind of matches up with... thing, a bit smaller. So we'll just pop it there for now. And then there's quite a large tower here. That's way bigger than this one. So we need to make sure it's bigger than that one. Just for perspective, I think that'll be fine. Because this is only a short tower, whereas this one's quite... large. And then that goes into the other back building. And then I think the courtyard's like here, the hexagonal courtyard. Now, we could have done this in pieces and just as we've gone and just decorated one section. But like I said before, if we'd have got one section down that was absolutely perfect and then realised that the scale were off for the rest of it, it would have been absolutely useless. Okay, I think that, yeah. Let's use another block now. In fact, let's just change this all to gold because I do prefer working with gold. Not gold ore though. Right, so that should have changed that all to gold if it's connected. And then there's kind of like another building that's almost going parallel to it, but the bit that's taller than it is kind of like coming out over these roofs here. So let's say like in the middle of here. Right, so would you say that's the middle? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh. Okay. Okay. So there's this building that's running kind of parallel to it. If anything, a tiny bit further back. Right? And we don't want to move. We want to move this. We want to move the shape of it hexagonally. Actually, kind of like that. Roughly. Just change that to be 100. But like there-ish. We actually want this to go all the way down to here. Above. This one is. Okay. Right, okay. And that's going to meet there, and then there's going to be another one that's going to like roughly come above here. It's like roughly in the middle of this, but this way. And again, we'll try to get it dead center in the middle of there. Roughly about there. Now I know this looks a mess. But it kind of makes sense in my head. So this is the patio bit actually, so we don't actually need this here. Get rid of this little bit, this chunk. And then I think we'll probably want to bring it out. To about there. Did you take the diagonal building into consideration? I haven't even got there yet, Snow. This is how big this building is, that I haven't even got to that big diagonal building at the back. There's like a court. So the diagonal building is kind of like back here somewhere. So that's the big tower. Then there's like the hexagonal courtyard that's like here. this. This is kind of the thing that we're going for. The more that I look this up, the more that I'm convinced that they added extra towers to season 2. And, like, not to spoil anything, but they're kind of important to the story. And I think that's why they've added them. So the blueprints that I have been following are unreliable, unfortunately. Okay. It's a bit more clear to me, at least. So then we'll, we've got the tower here, the big one. Just pull up my other picture. Okay. So this is this bit here. And then you've got this big tower here, blah, 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 blah. But then there are 2 towers that pop up out of nowhere right here. And I don't see them on any blueprints whatsoever. But when you first drive into Nethermore, they're there. You can see them clearly on the first picture. I'm just not sure where they go. But I don't think I need to worry about that right now. I just need to worry about mapping out the rest of this. So this kind of does look like a diagonal section here. I need more pictures. Oh, did I? I can change that. Yeah, it's because Minecraft. I'll just put Minecraft. There we go. Thank you for that, Snore. Alright, you know what? We're going to start building this up. We're going to start building this up because right now there's I can't see any of this back bit here. I don't have any reliable info for this back bit. I know there's a building on a diagonal which creates a hexagonal courtyard, but that's all I know. So I'm going to do some more research and I'm going to actually watch it and like take screenshots of the show and just fast forward until I see every angle possible. So, but let's take this now and kind of like try to stack it. Okay. So let's extrude. And let's extrude by like 20 blocks. All right. So now we've got kind of, is that too much? That might be a bit too much. Should we go for, let's go for 18 instead. Right, I'm going for 17. And then we'll come down here and see how it feels. Okay, let's give it a minute to... Alright, and now we know that this is not this high. This is actually quite low. About there. So we'll delete that. Because that's a weird kind of like courtyard that you go up into, and it's kind of like just concrete and flat over there. But yeah, this is kind of like, this is what we've got here, and this is it's starting to dawn on me how big this project actually is if I want to do it on this size. Because this courtyard here is kind of like, it's actually kind of a bit smaller than this. You've got this that goes along. I think this probably matches up with this, so we'll move this over here. And make that match up with that. And then you've got the roof. So we'll change to lapis. Lapis. And we'll just do the path tool here. So if we do lapis and we do it from here to here, we'll move it up a block. All right. And then we'll do the smear tool. And we'll make sure it meets this middle mark, because this is kind of like where we decided that the next level we're going to be. I'll just consult my diagram here. Different things. So it's kind of like that. And meets like a second floor of buildings, but I think that's wrong. We'll confirm for now. But I don't think that this section's right, because I think there's two massive towers just here and then a third one over there. I'll bring this out over here. And we'll try to do the same kind of thing. So we'll smear it from here. Let's lift it up one and go across. The same height as that? We kind of want the same height. Yeah. Okay, so it will be kind of like that, and then that will meet up to the second building that's going to be up here. That will stack up here. About right, yeah. And then you have like the windows, and yet again another roof up here. wonder if you can kind of like connect these by smearing this way and then smearing that way. You could, but it doesn't look great. No, we'll cancel that. I think this goes up one more though. I think it's more. This. Taller by 2 now? Okay, I've messed that up, haven't I? I meant to bring it lower. Yeah, this is taller by 2 now. Okay. You know what? Sometimes it's better just to start again. Right, we're gonna do this. There. We're gonna lift this up again so we know where we're going. And we're gonna smear this again. And we want to make sure we bring it to the same height as this. Otherwise, it's just not going to work. No, that's too big. Uh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Is that right? That looks right. Let's see. Yay. There we go. Okay, that worked. I made that way harder than I needed to. I was just I really wanted to do it with the axiom way, but yeah, that worked. That was harder than it needed to be. Anyway, so we can bring this all up now as well. I think kind of. So you got that square block there. So I'm going to do the path tool. Once again, we've got the lapis. And Gosh, does it want to be to there? I don't know. I think it does, doesn't it? Okay. But we actually need to find a center now. I need to do another one like that. So we need to find the center for this, because when we pull this up, that kind of feels right. And then we want to do not a catmull. We want to do a catenary, which is like this, and then we'll just make it slightly curved. So I'm going to get my ruler. I'm going to clear my ruler, and I'm going to go from here to here. Okay, that's 52. So that's actually not what we want, because we do not want an even, unless... No. We do not want an even center for this. Okay, so now I'm going to move all of this. All right, in one. And then this should be 53, 51 now. Yeah, and now when we do the path tool, and we do it from there, and we'll do it there-ish, and there. In fact, if we go on here, we can actually find the center. So that's cancel, select center. Okay, so ruler. Move this in one and down a bit, just because it's bothering me. All right, and now we can do select center, and we'll get this block right here. And we'll go to the tool. We can click that block. Got that block, and now we know that this is the middle. And we'll bring this way up here. How much we wanted it to be. The second floor is kind of like, so if we decide the width of the second floor, then we kind of know where our roof starts. But I don't think this is going to go in that much. I think this needs to go into the center here. I think that's where this needs to start. Actually. And then we need to move this somewhere over here like this. Yeah, because this is the beginning of the roof over here. So we want this to be like there. So let's move the ruler to be there. Right, okay. Yeah, we got there in the end. Right. So that's the center. And that's the other side, right, okay. Right, let's get this straight. And then we want like a one block hangover. So we need to do it one block in each direction like that. And then when we pull this up, this should be kind of right. got like a little flick to it. It's got like a little flick to the roof, but not too much. So that's like just like that. Alright, I'm doing it. I'm picking it. Alright, and then we're gonna smear this. All the way down here. I'm gonna get this to meet this corner block over here. More. Just like that. And I'm going to select this, duplicate it, flip it on the x-axis, spin it round, and we have the other side. Perfect. Okay. So I think we need to bring this out a wee bit more. I think this is going to come all the way out to here. Yeah. That's kind of like how big it is. And this is a perfect example of the scale thing that we were talking about, because now this bit down here isn't right. And there's kind of like a tower here that's kind of like a square tower that's coming up a little bit. And this feels way too big now. Hmm. Yeah, but that's right though. That's the right thickness going down. But maybe it's just a perspective thing. Maybe it's just a perspective thing. Because this actually doesn't come out as much as this. It's... Yeah, it's like this. It's more like this. More like there. And then we can get rid of probably like all of this. Over. Okay, yeah, that feels a little bit better. One, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 20. Is that, wait, what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Okay, that makes more sense. Okay, so now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. And it feels right. The size of this tower here, which shows just how big the other towers are going to be, because this is the smallest building at the front here. Yeah. We'll see. We'll see. Definitely need this to come up more and just be a little bit bigger than this, because then the roof starts just a little bit after this one. It kind of starts like there. And then there's actually like 2 rows of windows here. It's going to start to feel a lot better once we put the detail in. This is all just the block form for now. But that's how we started with the Copper Palace. It was all just blocks. And then all of a sudden it like started to come to life and actually look like a real building. So let's smear this up as well a little bit. Because this is kind of like this roof doesn't start. It's a little bit up here either. I'm going to say there. And then there's a roof that goes along here that's very pointy. It is very pointy, but we're just going to do a basic shape for now. just because I wanted to kind of see it. And it's going to go up into... So it's a lot. So we've got the middle of there. Kind of for the middle there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 17 roughly. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 17 roughly. Okay. That's kind of dead on actually. This is going to be a bit higher than this one. Only by a bit. So is this one tall? Oh, okay, I think this one's taller. Alright, so we might actually need to move this all together. Because this one's taller. And the reason that I wanted to do this roof and get this roof right was because I think that the center of this one is kind of like where this one's going to end. So it's kind of going to be on the center too. Mm. 37. Select center. Just gonna move that over there. I'm gonna move that over there. Okay, that's kind of good. That's kind of right. And I want to select the center there. Ruler. Select center. Right. So let's make it 3 wide on either side. It's going to be a bit taller than this. Right. So now we just need to connect this to this. And I'm thinking that we use the modeling tool for this. And then we add a row and we'll just do that. Modeling tool. So there, add a row, there. Oh, it's because we have our middle center selected. We'll move these in a block actually, and then back a block. And then we'll add a row, and we'll do bam, bam. And that kind of gives us the shape that we want, but not really. I don't like that. So we're going to do path tool instead. And I'm going to do the catenary loop. And I'm going to go from there to there. And that's more the shape that we're going to want. So we'll do that. Bam, bam. Yeah, that's kind of the shape that we want. It's not perfect, but it's kind of what we want. I think maybe we get rid of that block there. We do that. As well. Give me that little bit of a flick. You know? That's definitely what we want. And then once we've done this side, we can just flip it over and have the same on the other side because it does look like that's what it is. And it also kind of feels like, I'm just going to get rid of this for a second because it kind of feels like it's smeared like over there and like that. And then we kind of just need to connect these together maybe. A little something like that. Then that wouldn't really work on that side. Hey, Doubtful, welcome in. Sorry, I'm yawning. No music on YouTube. One second, let me read a message here. I've just got. I'm not. I'm not seeing. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm seeing what you're saying now. That fella, thank you for the message. That's a good point. I will give that a go. See if we can. I just want to move something here. There we go. I have looked at my phone. Is that any better? Right, so what were we doing? Right, we were doing this over here. So let's copy this. I think that's kind of like gonna look okay. Now let's try to use modeling to connect this up a little bit. So we'll do the first section here. And then we'll try to add a row and we'll do this section here. But as you can see, that doesn't quite fit, does it? So let's get rid of the second row and let's add a row to that. And then we'll just keep adding rows, I think. Moving it up until it feels right. Just keep doing this. Bye. Right. This doesn't feel right. Let's just fill this in by hand. I think that's going to be the way to go. Mhm. Yeah, I think that's a little bit better. Don't need it to be too curved because it'll just look messy. Right. So we've got the shape of this one down. And like I said, when we want to do this, we'll just flip this over here. But it's kind of it's kind of annoying me a little bit. So I think we'll come back to this one. Maybe. Yeah, this is a bit of a frustrating row. Maybe we need to move this over here, maybe a bit. So there. Can we just do this and then just let's just do this. Right, and then we'll fill in the gaps. Like that. Yeah, it's a bit better. Okay. And then I am just going to do a box select. And I'm going to select this to the middle. I'm going to duplicate, flip on the axes, and turn around. And just do what we always do. And make sure that that's centered. And then it's perfect on this side apart from this. So we just need to figure this out and how we're going to do this bit. Because we don't need to come all the way up here on this side. Might just be that we do the old smear again. I don't know if it's gonna work. Like that. Okay, let's get this to meet this. Oops. Then we'll... How does that kind of look? Oh, that does not look right. Because we don't want it to be curved like that, do we? So let's hit the cancel on that. Guess we just keep going along until it meets this, right? So this one would meet this like there, that would meet that there. Hmm. Okay. I think that's the best we're gonna get. So again, we'll do a box side. Hey Eleni, welcome in. I'm trying to build Nethermore from Wednesday, and I am quickly realizing that this is a much bigger task than I thought that it would be. Right, we're going to duplicate, we're going to flip on the x-axis like we've been doing, and then we're going to swap it around like that, and then we'll just line it up with the middle there. And now we have this side. But we don't need this curved corner, we can just make it go flat. Hey, Cobble, came to ask what your timetable is going to be. I thought I could go to the gym before we hopped on hardcore. Yeah, I'm gonna be finishing up soon. How long have I been going? Where's the time? I'm gonna finish up in maybe about 10, 20 minutes, and then I'm gonna get some food, and then I'll start. I'm gonna be starting hardcore. If you can be there, then you can be there. If not, you can't. It's fine. Hi, Chemist. How's the holiday going? Right, now let's just copy this whole thing over, if we can. Do, 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 do. We will select, duplicate, flip, and there you have it. We have, yeah, that's right, I think. It's flipped over. Oh, it looks a bit strange. It's going great. Chemist says it's purdy. It's purdy. It's just... What's purdy? This you can't be talking about this this yellow and blue build so far. Right. Box select. Go from there to there, maybe. Right. Copy. Duplicate. Flip on the X. And there we go. Nevermore. Yeah, it's from Wednesday. So it's the academy that she's going to. Have you seen Wednesday yet? Not necessarily good and evil. It's like for outcasts. And Wednesday goes there because she's kind of a bit of an outcast and doesn't really fit in anywhere. We've not seen season 2 yet. Yeah, no, there'll be no spoilers for season 2, but I will say I'm struggling a little bit with the build because I think that they've changed the school a little bit from season 1 to season 2. They've added some towers. And yeah, the schematics that I'm finding are not matching up with what I need, and it's a little frustrating. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, this side doesn't match this side, I don't think. You know what? It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Doesn't need to be exact here. But I do think we need to get this section here. And then do the old flipperoonie. Duplicate. Flip on the X. And just like that, we have a roof. There we go. Chemist has bought a strategy game about mushrooms. Is going to be a very fun guy. Nice. A strategy game about mushrooms. That sounds interesting. Right, we've got this bit. Now we want to kind of bring this around here. Right, okay. And this is where we're going to be starting to make the hexagonal courtyard here from these buildings. Okay, so this... Oh gosh, this is hard. So it's going to go like there. And then this will be the flat bit. And then I think there's going to be another building that's attached there. Yeah, so this is where we start to get the hexagon kind of building. And then the courtyard will go here. We're going to play it over the weekend. Nice. How long are you there for then, Eleni? Alright, I think it's time to smear this up. To here, and then up we go. Or is it going to hit there? It's going to hit there, isn't it? Alright, okay. Only until Monday. Oh no! I bet it's gone by really quickly. It always does when you're having a nice time. all the way up as well? I believe so. Yeah, like all along here. Alright, we're starting to get a shape. We're starting to get something. And then we can add in all the little details. To there. And then I think this kind of, yeah, it kind of goes up in like a crooked thing. Yeah, I don't blame you, Elena. So this isn't even half of it. So this is the beginning entryway. This is a courtyard that's quite big, and I think this is like, I think there's something in the middle here, and this is like a big car park kind of thing. And then this back bit is kind of like another massive section that's on a diagonal, and there's towers and all sorts. So this is already like shaping up to be another massive project. Got Chemist to try chocolate liqueurs. He wasn't prepared for them to be like a half shot of whiskey in them. Yeah, if you get the proper ones, there's like, yeah, you could get liquor off of those things. Wait, we don't want this bit to come up. No, because this is the tower bit. So we just want... We want this bit to come over here and complete the tower. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna put a circle in the middle here just to remind me that this is kind of like where the thing is. So we'll keep with flat, but we'll do a disc and we'll make it gold. We'll separate and we'll just do it. It's about 27, but we'll line it up with the middle of here maybe, which is a bit more of a there, I think. And we'll pull it out here. So I think this is kind of like, there's like some trees or something, and then it's like where you would drive your car in and you'd go around to kind of like come back out. So this is just the front. And then there's some like weird little tent things over here, and I don't know what they are. But like I said, I'm going to rewatch the show and just take as many screenshots from as many different angles as I can. But I don't really know that we can progress too much from here until I've done a bit more research. Because like I said, there is definitely a couple of towers here that is missing. But I think we've done good. I think we've got a really good basic shape for the front, for the first section. And I can't believe it's taken us nearly 2 hours. But we just needed to make sure that we've got that scale down before we can go any further. And I actually think that this box here is wrong and needs to be a bit smaller. Yeah. Yeah, I think this needs to be smaller. So we'll just do a mark there and hopefully I'll remember to do that. But we are going to wrap up now. Thank you for joining me. And yeah, like I said, I know it doesn't feel like we've got too much done, but like we've got down a really important bit, which was the shape and the scale. And hopefully we'll get the rest of it done. another day, and then we can start adding details to it. Eleni, I hope you have a great rest of your holiday and you have a great time with Chemist and you too, Chemist, as well. I hope you both have a lovely time. But I'm gonna hop off here, and unfortunately, I can't read anyone. But yeah, I will see you all. I'll see you all next time, probably on Tuesday. All right, bye everyone.